So just to provide an overview of the types of demergers that are available to companies who are looking to either split trades or split businesses, or there's shareholders wanting to go in different directions. There's lots of reasons we might do a demerger, and there's a few different ways we can implement splitting businesses or trading companies separately. The first is an exempt distribution demerger. That's specifically laid out in CTA 2010. There's various conditions that you need to meet in order for whatever you're splitting out to be treated as an exempt distribution, and therefore no tax for either the shareholders or the company. The main conditions to be aware of when considering between the types of demerger are: the two businesses that you end up with both have to be trading after. So once you split them out, both entities need to be trading entities. You can't do it with an intention to change control. So if you're looking to do a pre-sale demerger, selling off a part of the trade, that wouldn't be possible under an exempt distribution route. And you also need the reserves. You need enough reserves to cover the book value of what's been removed. There are other conditions as well that you need to be careful of, but they're some of the key reasons why exempt distributions are not as common as you might expect. That then leads us on to two different types of demerger that both rely on a scheme of reconstruction. And a scheme of reconstruction is laid out in Schedule 5AA of TCGA. You've either got a capital reduction demerger or a liquidation demerger. Liquidation demergers are sometimes called Section 110 demergers because they rely on the Insolvency Act, Section 110. And the reason I think they're not used as much as they used to be is, firstly, you need to appoint a liquidator. So there's another person involved, another advisor involved, and more fees in relation to that. Also, a lot of people don't like the connotations of being associated with a company that's been in liquidation. The other reason that they are not as in fashion as they used to be is that since Companies Act 2006, a private limited company can now reduce its share capital via a solvency statement. Before then, it had to go through, there were a number of ways, but the main way was through court approval, which was time consuming and it was expensive. So now that we have a far more straightforward way to achieve a capital reduction demerger, they're a lot more common. What's the typical steps involved in a capital reduction demerger? The main issue is that most companies will not have enough nominal value of shares to reduce by whatever they're trying to remove. So if you take an example where let's say you've got two trading subsidiaries you want to split in to two separate groups. Let's say they're both worth £1 million. So group total at the moment is £2 million. You need at least £1 million worth of share capital to remove one of the trading entities, because that's worth the market value of £1 million. So the first step is normally we do a share exchange, put a new holding company on top, and under company law we can issue the nominal value in holdco of shares up to the value that is being exchanged. So our group is worth £2 million, we can issue £2 million worth of shares. That then gives us enough that we can reduce our share capital. But the first thing is we need to reorganize the group so that when we do our capital reduction and we transfer something out, one of the assets, or in this case a trading subsidiary, needs to be held by this new topco. We then do our capital reduction, transfer out one of the entities into a new holdco. New holdco issues shares to the existing shareholders in proportion, and then we're left with two separate groups. We can't do this to avoid capital gains tax, we can't do it to avoid corporation tax, we can't do it to avoid income tax. As long as HMRC agree we have commercial reasons to do it, then we can proceed, instruct the lawyers to prepare the paperwork and split the businesses as the shareholders require.